Another person we're gonna have songs for, Miley Cyrus, because she just dropped a new album. She is coming, which is only
Mm,
six songs. So I
yeah,
mean,
EP.
is this really an album? Yeah, EP. Um, but upon first listen, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this Miley, who she's becoming. And then I listened to it again, and I was like, oh, there's a couple songs on here I like. And I listened to the third time, and I was like, all right, I'm in. Like, I enjoy almost all of these songs. The only one I don't know if I enjoyed as much was Dream. Drugs rule everything around me.
Mhm.
That just felt a little bit forced and disjointed.
Shout out the Woo.
Yeah, I mean Wu Tang just they don't need the clout, but they'll chase it
I
if
mean,
they can.
Ghostface just took that check. Not the best verse from.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, overall, I think that there's a lot to like on here, and it definitely grows on me. This is like Miley's empowerment album, I guess, and she's always had that as kind of like a through line of her music. Even back to when she was like breaking out of the Hannah Montana mold with the climb. I feel like that's kind of been
Mhm.
like her lane for a while. But this really seems like she's like claiming back her sexuality and what it
Yeah.
means to be a woman.
What immediately jumped out to me about this, which I thought was a huge plus, is that Miley realized that the best thing she ever made was bangers,
Mm-hmm.
and she's getting back to that. That doesn't mean she's making bangers too. It does seem a little more mature, or at least a little more self-aware. Like a song like was it Catitude? Like obviously, like that's a ridiculous song, but it's so tongue in cheek that I actually think it's pretty funny. But like, yeah, you mentioned the climb, like those early, like once she shed the Hannah Montana label and became Miley Cyrus. Um, Party in the USA, big song, popular song, it's a summer staple, right?
Oh yeah.
But that whole, I don't know, pop folk vibe, faux country vibe, uh, didn't really like lend itself to full albums from her.
Mm-mm.
And once she made bangers and got fully mainstream with interesting pop music, and again, this is like at the time of like prime Katy Perry, who also came back recently, and hearing Wrecking Ball, hearing We Can't Stop, you're like, oh wait, she's like a different kind of pop artist, and actually is a pop artist
Mm-hmm.
now, and it's just really interesting. And then she like obviously got really uh indulgent on Miley Cyrus and her dead pets, which
Yep.
is really weird shit, obviously. But then, I mean, obviously she got some hot water for appropriating hip hop, and remember the 23 video with Mike
Mm-hmm.
Will, and people really weren't sure where to judge her and what kind of, like what kind of values she had or whatever. So she totally course corrected on that Younger Now record from 2017, where she tried to get back to her pure folk roots. And that we didn't even review that album just because it was just such like a lifeless attempt to like course correct. So the fact that she's
Yep.
coming back, and actually she is Miley Cyrus is the name of the forthcoming seventh albums, which this EP songs will be on. It's just exciting that she realized that's okay, that she was really pop and really sexual and also very feminist. Like that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to that. I'm just excited because again, she's really young. Like she's like a month younger than me. She's 26. It's not like Miley Cyrus is long in the tooth or anything. So
But she's been around
I'm
forever.
it's
You
true.
know,
She's been around like 10 years at least.
it's crazy.
So
And
yeah.
to kind of speak to what you're talking about, as you described her albums, it almost reminds me of how we've seen Miley in the public eye. There was that time when she was like grinding up on Robin Thicke at the MTV Music
Yep.
Awards for Blurred Lines, and everybody was like, "What the hell is this?"
Hmm.
And she was like this.
Phallic symbols on her per- performances, all that shit.
Yeah, she just went into this like really like out there point in her own life, and it seems like as she's kind of finding who she is, in her mid 20s at this point, at least from what the public eye can see, it seems like she's finding the music too that fits best for her. And I think that it all makes sense. She's kind of going through like what it means to be herself. She's finding what it means for her to be a successful artist. And she really, I think, knocks out of the park with a couple of these songs. Unholy, I think, was one of my favorites. Just really jumped out even from the first listen. I was like, okay, this one's probably my favorite one right away. Party Up the Street with Sway Lee is
Mm.
like awesome pop song for me. And then even The Most, I thought was a really good way to kind of wrap up the CP, and I hope it actually wraps up the album because I think it's a good ending song. Which one stood out to you?
Definitely the Unholy as
Yeah.
well. Um, it's funny. Mother's Daughter is produced by Tay Keith. Didn't
Hmm.
hear that at first, but Party of the Sheet with Sway Lee, uh, as one would expect, Sway Lee is produced by Mike Will. And the talk about this album is that she got back to working with Mike Will on this, and she also worked with Mark Ronson on this. So again, she's just kind of getting back to what worked best. But yeah, I thought
Hmm.
Unholy really reminded me of Bangers in a good way, and that's my
Yeah.
favorite track so far.
So we'll be reviewing the full length album when it comes out.